hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host iamBranded.
All right. This is Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Charles. I am Brandon Madison here with, hey, listen, I've been a fan of not just a power group, you know what I'm saying, that was birthed in Oakland and just did a lot of historical things back in their heyday. But, I mean, I've been a fan, supporter of the brand because this brand to me is up there and should be appreciated and supported and, you know, put in the same category as salt and pepper and more. You know what I'm saying? So Oaktown 357, I have Sweet L.D with me on Nexxlegacy Radio. You know what, girl? It's been hella long since I wanted to interview you. What's good?
Well, hella long. How long has it been? Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here after hella long, and everything is good. I cannot complain.
I mean, we from the Bay, girl, so it's hella all day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's we here. We here. So what's good? How's life?
Life is good. I cannot complain, honestly. Everything is good. It is as it should be, and I'm in that moment, so I'm not tripping.
You know what? Yeah. When I hear your voice and I think about like all the videos, all the hits, all the dance moves, all the this, all the that, just
yes,
it just brings a nostalgia vibe to it. So I'm gonna ask you this, and I know it's probably cliche, but when you look back at the career that you have, and I'll still keep it continuous, and I know the people out there want to know what's good with you, you know what I'm saying, moving forward, but going backwards, when you think about just tours, traveling, music, videos, this, that, everything, isn't it surreal? Like, isn't it humbling when you step back and you still have people still rocking your stuff still to this day after this time?
It's all of that, but it's empowering because the difference is you're in the clutch of it, you're in the mix of it, you're in the storm of it back then. So it's like, just get it done. Okay, what's the next thing? Let's get it done. And then making sure that you're always on. So you're on for radio interviews, you're on for the tour, you're on for the stage, you're on for the videos. Everything is always on. So when you get a moment to sit down and breathe, the next thing you're on for is family, just to be there for your family because you've missed them. So now when I step back and I look at that whole time period, it's like, my goodness. You know what I'm saying? So it's surreal. It's nostalgic. It's humbling, but it's empowering because I know that I pulled from somewhere I didn't know that I had the strength and the energy to pull from, to stay and to create and be part of that. So, yeah, it's a different type of ownership and respect for that time period and the experience. So, yeah, I love it. I love it all now.
Well, you brought a sexiness to the group. I mean, obvious Lil P and Terrible T did as well. I mean, but the lyrics is the same. Like, you brought a sense of what's the word I want to say? You brought a sense of empowerment and confidence to women out there in groups and stuff like that, and it gave us guys motivation too. Like, it was deeper than just listening to the lyrics of a sexy female doing, you know what I'm saying, dope-ass dance moves and having great content. You know what I'm saying? Do you get that? Do you get that sense and that vibe when you know what I'm saying, talk to, you know, your fans or other people about just the messages y'all was bringing back in the day?
We do. I think I'm only going to speak for myself, but hold on one second. I'm only going to speak for myself. I think for me, it was cool to step out like that and say the things that we did, and of course dance, because I believe our dance was like the first thing for us. We had to be able to dance, and we had to be able to dance to the music and present that. But then to put the lyrics behind it, it was just it was a different level. So I do feel like it helped us ourselves with our confidence. Again, I'm going to speak for myself, but I believe it helped me with my confidence to be able to write those lyrics, to be in the studio too, given that opportunity to record for the first time, and knowing that we had a project that a lot was riding on. But then once it's completed, everybody's vibing to it. So each time you do something, it raises that bar of confidence. And so we were able to take it to the video and just really ride it and, rock it out. But yeah, I think people today still feel good about just the way that was presented. You know what I mean?
Right.
They didn't feel like it was over sexual. It wasn't over with the dance. It wasn't too much dance. It wasn't too much sarcasm. And it was like just enough everything, to get the vibe across. But yeah, people today still love that. I don't care if it's yeah, Juicy Got You Crazy or Wild and Loose, Turn It Up. We turn it on, they jamming. Let's Get It Started is another one, even though that's a Hammer song. Let's Get It Started.
Right.
So yeah.
And Sweet L.D. is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, Oaktown 357 Icon. And look,
yes.
I think about the video, but deeper than that, and Sweet, this, a lot of people still play the music and dance at parties, you know what I'm saying, clubs, different certain types of events and things like that. And it's a nostalgia hit, but you mentioned video, so let me go there. Like, you know what I'm saying, from all the videos, Juicy Got You Crazy, yeah, all that stuff. Did you have an impact in how the video was going to be put out there to the people? I mean, I know, just from the creativeness to as far as what y'all wanted to do and how y'all wanted to go about it, did y'all have some kind of impact or input in it?
We had input with the choreography for Juicy and for Yeah. We had input with the style of the clothing. We picked our own clothing for Yeah for Juicy. For Wild and Loose, we had a stylist, but choreography was always in the forefront when it came to the video for myself, for Terrible T. And I'm trying to think, was Lil P part of the first one? No, she wasn't. Okay, no, she wasn't in Yeah. So, Terrible T and I worked on that choreography. Juicy, Terrible T and I and Ho Frat Ho, we worked on that choreography. Anything that we did as far as choreography, that was me, Terrible T, and the dancers. We always put something dope together. And then when the wardrobe was selected, I think the first two videos we contributed the wardrobe styling, but not the latter part. We knew what we wanted to look like, but there were stylists at that point. You got a little extra change, so you put that in the budget for the stylist. But yeah, as far as the whole entire look of each video, no. I think we have more input, if I'm not mistaken, in the latter three. So Honey, It's Not Your Money, and then Turn It Up. Those storylines were presented to us, and we were able to give a little bit more on that. But other than that, no. Storylines for the first few was MC Hammer, and then whoever the video producer was. But we were involved. But it's a growing process. So as you're learning how videos are done, then you can kind of say, well, no, we want this, we want that. But in the first three, we didn't know what the heck was going on. We didn't know. We didn't know. Okay, this is a song we got to do. We got a dance part. Okay, okay. Okay, what we want to wear, that's about it. And then hair, stuff like that. But, yeah, after you get a little bit more experience, then they allow you to, have a little bit more input and contribute differently. Yeah. So, but it was all good. Yeah.
I feel it. I mean, especially like you said, you brand new, you just into the game. Like, you know what? I know enough now this time around to be like, look, I think we should do it like this at this take, having this on or whatever the case may be.
Right,
and that, like you said, comes with experience. And I feel like, I can't wait to ask you a couple more questions about some stuff, because to me, from album to album, as I look back on, just the evolution of Oaktown 357, I sense a lot of maturity as each song was pushed out there, portrayed, and the videos and the songs and everything elevated. Do you feel the same way as far as just the maturity, sound, and everything else when it came down to it?
For sure. I mean, and that was intentional. We knew that the first album was the first album. We knew what it was about. We knew that we had to put something together for the package that Capitol Records was looking for as far as artists. We knew that we were new to it, so there's a lot
Right.
riding on it. And then just for us, not just new to that type of environment, but just being artists. New to now, we're artists. We're not dancers. We've gone past that threshold, and now we're artists, and we're in the studio recording and writing, and now we're having to perform as artists. It was a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you grow up pretty quickly because you're responsible for how that comes across to everybody, not just, the people that would eventually become fans and, lovers of the music, but Hammer as a producer, James Early, Felton Pilot as producers, and then Capitol Records as, the music label, the record label, and then management. Everybody's looking at you, even you.
Right.
You're looking at yourself.
Right.
So by the time the second album come, it was like, oh, okay, we got this. And to be honest, before we even had that whole, okay, we got this, it was like Hammer came to us and said, Capitol is ready to for you guys to go into the studio and work on the second album. So we were shocked that there was even an opportunity to do a second album. That was a shock. But
really?
Then he said, it was. I mean, yeah, it was. It was a shock. But
why? Sorry to interrupt you, but why do you think that was a shock, though?
Because I feel and I felt and I believe that the group was created to help with Hammer's career. He was interested in having his own career in the music industry.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but his conversation, the way I understand it with Capitol Records is, okay, we love you, you're great, we believe in you, but what else you got? And so now he's, hey, I got this. So now, we're brought together to say, hey, I have, I got another opportunity to present something else to them, and I want a group. And so even though it wasn't myself, Terrible T, and Lil P initially, his idea was to always have a female group. And from what I understand, he had the name Oaktown 357. I could be wrong for that. Somebody back in the shadows, and I don't mean no harm, knows that. But I believe he had the name. He just didn't have the people, the person for that.
Got you.
And so, the way it happened is Lil P, this part I know is true. She was messing around on the mic, and she was doing Salt and Pepper song Tramp. So her voice, her personality caught his ear. He's like, oh, I could work with her. He tried to mentor her, but her thing is she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it by herself. And the only way she would do it or even entertain the idea is if myself and Terrible T did it with her.
Right.
So with that being said, he's like, oh, okay, let me look at this. Oh, great, this works. You know what I'm saying? So when you have it put together like that, not that it's bad, but you just don't know how far it's going to go. And then once it's done, how was it received? And we did not expect to have another album, opportunity. I know I didn't. I didn't assume that they were going to do that. So when he brought it to us and said, you guys are, it's time to go back in the studio and record the second album, he said, you're going to be working with James Early, Michael Kelly, and he mentioned some other artists who were writers and producers, and said, and just let me know what ideas you guys have. It was kind of left like that. I was like, oh, so we're in charge? You know what I mean? Like, it was all on us. And that's what it was. It was all on us. So, I was shocked about, having the second opportunity, but then that he was not going to be directly involved. He wasn't going to be in the studio. He wasn't going to be calling the shots. He was just going to be, waiting to see what we came up with. Yeah.
And what you came up with is a gem. Like, I mean, when y'all released the first one and it literally dropped and it captured the attention to a lot of people, not just from the Bay, because we from the town. It felt good to see that. Listen, not just did it feel good to see, it felt good to see that other people from other different cities, states, or whatever was vibing off that, though. Like, that was great to see as we transitioned from the 80s to the 90s and stuff like that. But listen, Fully Loaded, when that second album came to me, is a still classic for this reason. like I mentioned earlier, maturity, evolution,
Yes.
the fact
Yes.
that I felt like y'all probably had more control over certain aspects of certain things, and it just felt good to see that transition from, you know, the rookie album to the sophomore album being more, you know, impactful than even the rookie album. You know what I mean? It's so good to see.
True. Yeah. No, and we felt that. I mean, that was a conversation we had in the studio with the producers. They understood. Look, you know the term nowadays. I understood the assignment. So we
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they say. That's the line today. But we understood the assignment, which was that it was riding on all of us, not just Terrible T and myself, but everybody as a writer, as a producer, as a rapper. We understood. There was a lot riding on, and the reason was because we knew to some degree that even though Capitol Records really was championing behind Oaktown 357, it wasn't always that way in the organization, you know, with MC Hammer or Louis Burrell or any of those guys. It was always some type of, you know, okay, that's them. You know what I'm saying? So some dismissiveness to it, but they also knew that there was a seriousness to it, because this is what Capitol Records really wanted. They really loved the group. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So everybody knew what was going on, and we just went in the studio. We had fun. We talked about concepts. We talked about things that we wanted to discuss and share, and what direction we wanted to go in, how we wanted to feel, you know, about it. And then I learned that on the first album, we were able to contribute to what concepts, you know, Hammer had. We did have our own, to some degree, playing around, you know, with Juicy Got You Crazy or Yeah. But a lot of it was MC Hammer. But the second album, they took, I know James Early is going to get me, probably 3 or 4 of my poems and made them into songs, into rap songs.
Okay.
Which I never knew that could happen. Had no idea.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So James Early is like, you know, if we're gonna do this, you know, we know you guys can write. We know you shared on the first album. We have some other writers. Terrence, why is his last name escaping me? One Cause, One Effect. They helped. Treasure and Terrence, they helped. Michael Kelly. So James Early is like, you know, what about some of your poems? And I was like, they're just poems. He's like, well, let me see what you have. And so when he took that and Turn It Up is one of them, Come Back to Me is another one, I was like, wow, how would you do that? You know what I mean? So, like, it made you have a different perspective of poetry. But he said that songs, that's what they start out as. They start out as poems. You know, people add a hook or, you know. So I was like, okay, so that was a learning experience for me, just to not minimize my poetry. But when I tell you, we had a ball with that album, and we were so proud of it. So proud of it. And then when we presented it to Hammer, I think he was pleasantly surprised as well.
Yeah.
He was like, he wasn't playing, you know what I mean? And then the videos we were able to reflect that in the videos. You know, It's Not Your Money and Honey and all of that. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was definitely pretty cool.
All still classics to this day. Sweet L.D, Oaktown 357 is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. And listen, I mean, from It's Not Your Money, Turn It Up, Honey, obviously, you know, those were the main attractions to a lot of, you know, the whole entire album, and both albums are still classics. But I'm going to ask you something a little different. I'm going to ask you about the one album. I remember seeing the video, so you're going to have to pardon my interruption or pardon my vibe as I go backwards, because remember the days of Soul Beat, right? Soul Beat back in the day.
Yeah, Soul Beat.
You know what I'm saying? Out here, you know what time it
Classic.
is. So you remember,
Iconic. Yes,
it was a song. It was a song called "The Fila Treatment." It was a video.
Yes.
It was a video.
Yes.
Now that video. And obviously that song, I can remember it in my head. I could see the visuals. But Sweet L.D, to my lifetime, nobody on the internet can surf it and find it or anything like that. You know how it is now in 2021. People are talking about NFTs, something that, you know, is super rare. or whatever, if you can find it or whatnot. Like, whatever
Right.
happened to not just that video, that song, that concept, that third album that, you know what I'm saying, people out there that was 357 supporters wanted?
You know, here's the thing, to be honest. I forget about that. It was an EP. And we had a couple of other songs on that EP. I was blessed about maybe 10 years ago to receive the CD to it. Someone actually sent
Get
me the
out of
CD.
here.
They had it.
Are you serious?
No, God is. I'm so serious. God is my witness. And seriously, because now I'm gonna thank you, because I'm at the 2-album point, but I forgot we did an EP. I totally forgot we did that.
I love it.
Listen, I can go right over there if I'm not mistaken. I think I still have it in my CD case.
Listen, you an all-star for that. You a Hall of Famer for that, Sweet L.D. Listen. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna do it live. Literally, people out there, they will hear this stuff or whatever. You know what? Keep that, because that can be your 357 NFT. That I know for a fact people are going to want to take that trip down memory lane, and I'll tell you more about that stuff offline or whatever. But
okay, you guys tell me what the NFT is, because I don't know if I've heard of that. But I'm
gonna have to tell you. We'll talk about that offline. But I got you, girl. I got you. Listen, keep that, save that, because I promise you, there is 357 supporter heads who would get a left, right arms or whatever to take that trip down memory lane. Now, don't go there about the video, because if you wind up finding that somewhere too, that's going to be another still classic. But I'm just saying, us as supporters, remember that, because I remember during this final leg of Soul Beat or whatnot, I just remember the moment. I remember, oh shit, that was okay, out of the blue. Even on that hype, and I remember as a fan, I was telling my brother, I was like, look, next level. There you go. You know what I mean? And then it paused, and I was like, where is it? And you search for it now, can't find it.
Yeah,
Trust me,
I don't know. Yeah, I know. A lot of people have. I don't know what happened with that at all. I don't know why it was stopped. I really honestly don't know. I know I have it. Excuse me, I thought it was in the CD holder just to make sure, but I don't see it. But yeah, someone gifted it to me a few years back, and when they said it to me that they had it, it was still a reminder. I was like, oh my God, I forgot we did that. I was so serious.
Yeah.
I forgot, but there was just so much going on. But we were presented with the opportunity to go in a slightly different direction. And we wanted that because there were so many people talking about, I don't know what it was with Oaktown 357. But oh my gosh, it just seems like people just had issues. You know, we were too sexy. We was, Hammer girls. They try to minimize us. Well, they just the Ike of MC Hammers. I'm like, huh? Where is this coming from? This is the attitude people had. So I couldn't understand why we couldn't just be. Why couldn't we? Yeah. Regardless of how we came together, you don't know what God had in mind.
I agree.
When we were put in that situation, I don't think anything was really random. I don't think it was half-assed. I really don't. That kind of energy and time that everybody put into it, we were all serious and we were all committed. So to me, if we did what we did and it was received the way it was valid. And that's all we needed to enter into the hip-hop scene. That's all we needed to be, was valid about what we were doing. And so it just seemed like there was always somebody in their own way trying to knock it, either knock Hammer or knock Oaktown 357. So, yeah, it was a stretch in a different direction, and it helped us stretch ourselves and to be different. And so people were really surprised that we were a little rough around the edges. We were talking a little noise. We had a little profanity, but I feel like that was a little Oakland in a different way, Oaktown coming out in us in a different way. And we represented for the town, those that
it felt Oakland, but it still felt like that was y'all brand. So y'all brand was different but it was Oakland different. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yes.
think people from the town, they would know, but then other people would know, like, that was an Oakland vibe, but it was still Oaktown 357, and that's what made y'all different than, you know, other groups. Like, you know, you go Salt and Pepper, they got, you know, they got New York on that east side, right? They know what time it is when it comes to certain things, right? But there, a lot of people would say that. So I find it interesting when you say that a lot of people was in people's ear talking about, you know what, they, you know, Oaktown 357, look this way, act this way, this was Hammer's girl, blah, blah, blah. Like, I find it interesting because this obviously was before the height of the internet and all that stuff. So, you know, people legit had to go travel to go talk. You know what I mean? And to me, that's kind of weird, but whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, y'all did it yourselves. And to me, that's why y'all will forever be icons in this hip-hop business. And, you know, I was, you know, the typical cliche question people would ask, you know, how's it work, like working with Hammer and this, that, and the other? I'm going to ask you something a little different. When y'all did tours and stuff like that, like just some of the stuff y'all was a part of, when you think back at it, what, give me like a memorable moment that you're like, you know what, no matter what goes on in my life for the next 100 years, I'm going to always remember that moment.
I've actually had some memorable moments come back up that I totally forgot about. But one is that we met Lil Richard. Another is that I met Prince. And when I met Prince, it was just myself, Hammer, I think James Early, just a few of us had gone to his Paisley Park studio. But I remember him giving us a tour, and he actually kissed my hand. That I will never forget.
Okay.
I will never forget.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I will never forget that.
All right.
Yeah.
And you know I got to come at you with something, you know what I'm saying, a little different too, because, you know, guys will always, or girls would, you know, hey, listen, straight up. We always hear about the girl groupies or whatever, women running on stage and all that stuff. Have y'all ever had guys do that throughout y'all career too, though?
No, you know what? We had the weirdest security around us. And when I say weird, these dudes did not play. So I don't mean weird in a bad way. I just mean weird in that they definitely did their jobs. We never had dudes run up on the stage. What did happen, just crazily enough, I remember, and I was reminded of this by, God dang it, what is his name? Oh, his name is escaping me, but I'll come back to that. We were on stage performing. There's two things that happened. We were on stage performing, and I actually got choked.
What?
I got choked while performing on stage by hair, by a weave.
Are you serious? What?
A weave. Yes, a weave that I was wearing.
Sweet L.D. A
and
weave got you. Your own weave got you. You took yourself out with your own weave, girl.
Almost took me out on stage. When I tell you I had to figure that mess out, it was the scariest thing. I'm still trying to rap and perform and make sure I don't choke myself. It was crazy. So that happened. I can't tell you what show or what city we were in, but I will never forget that because I was scared as I don't know what, but just really trying to play it off. And then we were at a school. It's the truth. I'm telling you, it was rogue weed that day. We were at a school performing Special Ed. That's his name. He reached out to me one time on, I believe that was him. He reached out to me on Instagram, and he was like, "Is this you?" And he's trying to make sure it's me, Sweet L.D, and, you know, so on and so forth. I'm like, "Yes, it is." He said, "I remember performing with you guys." He said, "Are you the one that had the big splinter in her thigh?" And I said, "No." So he remembers performing with us at a school auditorium. Terrible T was called that for a reason. She would just come up with these crazy-ass things to do, and she would do it on stage. She would contort her body. She would just do some shit. Excuse my language. So this particular performance, we're feeling it, and this girl takes a run and slides across the stage. Well, there was a piece of wood.
Oh.
And that wood was not, yes. And when I tell you, it stuck her in her thigh, It was not. When I tell you horrible, because it was not small. It was big enough to cause. Yes. And so she had that, and they had to carry her off stage, bloody, everything. Yes.
Wow.
We've had some adventures. Yes, we've had some adventures.
Just the thought of sliding, Sweet L.D., the thought of sliding and then just
like
getting
doing
along.
baseball, like you slide into base on baseball and you slide into home on baseball. Yeah, she ran and slid, and this thing, yes, that was the end of the show right there.
The thought of a long ass splinter going down your thigh while you slide is not a good feeling. Just the thought of it, and just for it to happen to her, look, my goodness.
Yeah. This girl, I'm telling you, she went through some things. You hear me? So yeah, she laughed about that, and I laughed about it. But I was like, man, no, that wasn't me, bro. That wasn't me. That was my girl.
Sweet L.D. is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio 357, Oaktown 357 Icon. And look, a couple more, but one thing I do want to ask you, like, there's a resurgence now in the women's movement in the culture of hip hop now in 2021. There's a lot of women out there taking the piece of this culture and making it their own, I guess, in a sense. So when you look back, and I know you ladies paved the way in my opinion. And I got to put that out there, because if it wasn't for y'all and the contributions of other women, there wouldn't be these women out here winning and doing their things as well. So when you see the evolution of hip hop and how it's obviously changed, not just for the women's movement in hip hop, but just in hip hop in general. How does that make you feel, and what do you see when in your reaction to what it is going on now?
I feel a couple of ways. Everything is cyclical, so you have like, say for instance, Silk Sonic. So that's Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, and they are reflective of groups back in the day that I listened to. Confunction,
right?
Grand Central Station, all of those kind of, all those kind of groups like that. So they're the culmination of that. That's why I said everything is cyclical. So you have Oaktown 357, Lady of Rage, Yo-Yo, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, all of them. And so eventually these types of sounds and vibes will come back. Right now, I think we're just in hip-hop. For the men, I think they're just more prevalent than the women. To some degree. Now, you do have Saweetie, you have Megan, you have Cardi B, and there's another lady on my mind. I cannot, her name is not coming to me. But
Nicki's still out there, too. Nicki Minaj is still doing her thing.
Still out there. Yeah. And it's not for me to forget anyone. It's just, listen, I'm 57, so I'm trying to keep up with all these people right now.
Girl, so stop. You ain't 57. You ain't 57. Stop that. You ain't 57.
Yes. God is good. Don't take that from me. I have earned it. So, don't you take that from me now. Listen.
Amen, baby. I got you.
Yes. Yeah, I might look 25, but I'm 57. It was funny. I told a friend of mine that.
Black don't crack those.
But I'm 57. He said, no, you need to put 10 more years. I said, I don't look no damn 35. So we was over there arguing about that. But that's what I attribute to, is just not, black don't crack. Let you smoke it. You better be careful. But it's just, trying to remember everybody that's out. So there are some women that are coming out nowadays, and I feel like they have the confidence that it seems like coming out the gate, Doja Cat, they just have that confidence immediately.
Right.
There was no real, and not to say that there wasn't, but it didn't seem to be on the first album, the newness. They seem to come into themselves immediately. You know what I mean? And I don't want to negate their growth. I don't want to negate their process, how long they've been in the business, pushing, because I know it can take you 10 or 15 years before that one pops off. I understand. 5-7 years. I understand that.
True.
So it just seems that there's a refinement immediately when they hit, and that's not something that we had. But then again, that time we came out, everything was new with hip hop. Everything was new. Everybody was finding themselves. Most of the videos are done in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was
right.
done with something out of your closet that you wore. So it was that kind of
Exactly.
But I just think nowadays there's a different type of energy surrounding these artists. I don't always like the lyrics. I really do not. I think they are just some of it is just wow. You know what I'm saying? I thought Prince was wow with International Lover, or I did, what is it, Soft and Wet? That was wow to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel it.
Head, all of those. That was wow to me.
Mm-hmm.
But today it is so vulgar and it's so explicit, and this is played on the radio, and then this, it's just readily available. I have teenagers too. My oldest son is 36. My younger two are 17 and 19. So I hear this with them. And I just told my son, I said, son, you're not even doing what they're saying in this song. Like, you're not doing that.
Right.
So why? How can you listen to it? This is beyond me. You know what I mean? And only because, like I said, it's vulgar. Prince was not as vulgar. I just thought Prince was, like, sexy, and so I might not have been doing what he was talking about, but it just did not sound like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could kind of deal with that. So today, for me, hip-hop has reached the point that I think it really needs to kind of reel itself back just a little bit. And so when you have a J. Cole, when you have a Toby the Wigway out of Houston, you have Kendrick Lamar, you have, and again, there's Mumu Fresh. That's her name. I always call her name when I think about her.
All right.
I think Cyrock. I haven't heard a lot of her, but I know I like her. And so when you have them, I would like to see the balance. I would like to see the balance. If you're listening to Megan, then can I hear a Mumu Fresh? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I think we need. Even with the men, you're always playing something of something on the radio, but we don't have that balance all the time. You know what I mean?
And
so
we used to have it, though.
But that's my point. When you ask me what I think about it, that's what it is. That balance is not there. So the talent is there. It's not the balance, and we need that balance because it's too much of the other that's readily played. And I'm thinking everybody, it's enough money, it's enough airtime, it's enough time on the TV for you. So there's enough space for everybody to do what they do, but can we hear it? You know what I'm saying? Can we hear it? If you got Bruno Mars and you got The Weeknd, you can hear them on the radio. They're not alike at all. Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars, and The Weeknd, they're not alike, but you'll hear them on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that there's space for it to come back and be where we have more balance with everybody being present and presentable and represented on the radio. I don't always need to hear about, them carrying guns or the drugs or shooting somebody's head off or, eating your booty like groceries. I'm like, come on.
I mean, how much are we going to consume when it comes to that? And you are so right, because I look at it like this, and like I said, you ladies were pioneers when you guys took this on. You mentioned a lot of generational people who helped the next level of generational people move forward in this culture. And I always look at it like this. You took a slow burn and turned it into an inferno.
That's beautiful.
Right now it's an inferno that's going to turn into whatever else you want to call it. You know what I mean? That's beyond that. And sometimes you need that slow burn so you can see the transition and the evolution of an artist. That's where artist development used to come in handy, right? Like, we used to see that growth. And we used to appreciate that at the end of the day. And now we just get it, bam, like you said, instant talent, I get it. But where did you come from to get to that level where you're at now, or where you're at now? Like, we would like to see that.
The makeup, the hair, and the nails, I'm looking at that because I'm like, well, shoot, when we came out again, we was wearing, hair, our own hair. There was no weaves at the time. Pretty much our own nails or press on, no lie. And the makeup, we did it. We, there was some aspect of it that we did. Now, we did have a photographer. He did makeup. Mel Peters, I'm not going to knock him. Or forget about him. He did our makeup, at some point. But just that point of maybe we got mascara on, some foundation, and some red lipstick. That's it.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Now we got a whole, they said the face is beat. The nails is 5 inches long. The lashes is, the hair is 10 feet. It's just, wait a minute. Before we got to that point, because if you said it yourself, it was an evolution. If you look at the first album to the second album, you could see the weaves cost more than we had. We got on weaves now.
Yep.
So that was money. You could tell the difference in the presentation. So I just think with that, that's fine. Because this is the time that we're in, and that's okay. It is a different look. Men, not so much. We don't have to worry about guys doing this same kind of makeup type thing. But I just think the balance really is imperative right now for how music is sounding on the radio. I just think it's a lot of the, other stuff, and it's not enough balance. I love J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. My son, now this is the other thing, and don't y'all shoot me, but my son is 17. He loves Drake. I was like, okay, no big deal. But I kind of like Drake a little bit myself now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm using Drake in my fitness classes. Like I would not have done that before. You know what I'm saying? But I'm listening. So I'm like, okay. And then his new album came out. Fair Trade is my favorite song. I love that song. So
you sound a lot like me too, because and you're right, because it's like an acquired taste, and then once you do have that semblance of a balance of music, culture, different styles and whatnot, then you know what, hey, I can appreciate this. This is good. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Yeah,
and Toby Nwigwe, he's out of Houston. I don't know how I caught on to him. Might have been Instagram. I think it was when he was talking about Erykah Badu liking them. And so I started listening to him. I'm like, oh, okay, he a bad young man, and then he's got
his brand and his family brand is on a good level right now. Like,
you understand what I'm saying?
Crazy great.
This is what you're talking about when a person comes in and they have a centeredness about them, and they bring the family, and the family magnifies that. It's like a pebble in the water, and that ripple goes out, and it just resonates. He's like that. So I look at that, and I'm like, this is what we need as far as balance. But, I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody. I can't hear about on a constant, what you did to the lady, and, you wake up and she's not fixing breakfast. She's doing something else. You can't hear this all the time. You know what I mean? So
and Sweet L.D, listen, it's to me, and you're 100%. But also, you got to remember where we came from. You and I, we came from the Luther Vandross, where it was that slow romanticism with what you were doing, and you can picture, imagine. I'm saying Luther as an example, but you can even go with some of the classic ladies who Marvin Gaye and beyond. You know what I mean? Like, the Supremes or what, you can go on and on and on. And it was a slow sexiness to a lot of people who didn't have to take all their clothes off. You know what I mean? Like, it was easy that way for us to appreciate that sexiness. So, and y'all, let's just keep it solid. Y'all women too, when y'all, listen, as much as y'all dance, and I'm going to talk to you about your fitness stuff in a sec too, but y'all had a sexiness about y'all where it was up to our imagination as guys, you know what I mean, to appreciate and have. And we own that as men who love beautiful women. Thing. And you didn't have to take it all off to get us crazy. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. The funny thing is it wasn't our intention to be sexy. We were just trying to be comfortable. From practice, we knew that regular clothing was not going to work in videos or on stage. So it was a biker short.
Right.
It was a workout top. That's what it was. When it became sexy, it was like, what? We're working.
Oh,
you know
yeah. Oh, so girl. Hell yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
that's what I'm I'm just saying. It wasn't intentional, but the part I like and love that you said is that as men, you own that. That's my thing. Don't fault us because you think we're sexy, and that was not our intention. Some people felt like that was our intention, and we came out doing that on purpose. No, we had a job to do, and in order to do it as effective and productively as possible, we need to have something on that's comfortable. So, yeah, that's all we was worried about, honestly.
And y'all was like that, but had bars. Y'all had storytelling with y'all lyrics. Y'all had the kind of stuff that I know a lot of people like, hey, you get captured with, you know what I'm saying, different, hey, I like this. The look is great to me as a guy, and I'm just saying this, and I ain't saying it just because you on the line. I'm saying this because I want you to have skills with what you bring to the table. That's why I always respected y'all, Salt and Pepper, Latifah, Light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Y'all paved that way where y'all were beautiful, but y'all had bars.
It was important.
And y'all told the story. We don't tell stories nowadays. You know what I mean? Just saying.
They talking nasty nowadays. That's all they got to talk about. They talking nasty. But, it was important because I think, again, we knew that there was a lot riding on our appearance into the music industry, especially with, what Hammer was doing. There's a lot of people who don't feel like, we had bars. There's a lot of people that feel like, we're not lyrically inclined. We're not lyricists. We're this, we're that. And I'm thinking to myself, I've listened to us. It was not horrible. I don't understand. Why is there a problem? If you got a Queen Latifah, that's her style. If you have a Money Love, that's her style. If you got it, that's her style. I'm not supposed to sound like them. And whatever we went through is not going to sound like them. It's not going to be the same. So why would that be the case when this is hip-hop? Rob Bass doesn't sound like MC Hammer. MC Hammer don't sound like LL Cool J. LL Cool J does not sound like Rob Bass. But they're all respectable. You know what I'm saying? So why do we have to be held to a standard where there was no standard?
Tell it. Sweet L.D. is my guest. Oaktown 357 Icon on Nexxlegacy Radio. And in closing, look, what are you up to now? And then it's a two-parter. What are you up to now? I know you mentioned fitness, but also music. Could there ever be something laced with a 357 single song project or whatnot?
I'm going to go with the first one, or the second one. I'll go with the second one. There could always be music because I feel that music is a part of who we are at this point. It just depends on what the other young ladies want. So at this point, I can't speak for them, but if somebody called me and say, hey, we want you to come in, yes, okay, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Long as it ain't for Playboy. They put us on Playboy one time.
Yeah, amen. Amen to that.
I ain't doing Playboy nowadays. But yes, I mean, I love music, and I absolutely love it. I don't really care what it is. I'm not a big country music fan, but if the song is dope, I love it. So dance is always going to be a part of my life. So if they call and they say, hey, we want you to show up, I'm there. I'm healthy. My toes still work. You know what I'm saying? I can still move. So I will be there. I am into fitness. I've been doing fitness since 2009. I was Zumba certified. I'm now Group X certified and about to get my health coach certification and all of those things. So I'm teaching dance fitness twice a week. I'm working on a virtual platform called MyFitPod. And then as far as health and wellness, some people may or may not have heard of it, but I am with a company, and it is called Melaleuca. So it's one of the largest online wellness shopping clubs, and it's revenue share based. It's dope. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep it healthy and sexy at the same time.
I just
and working on my second poetry book. So let me throw that in there. Working on my second poetry book. So yeah, I got a lot going on. God is good.
Love it. What is it? Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
That's the song right there.
I love it. Listen, I want to not just thank you, but I want to give you the moment to give your shout-outs to your people, whatever it is, social media you want to put out there as well, before I say my final thank yous and stuff like that too. So the floor, Sweet LD is yours to say your shout out.
Okay, so I'm going to shout out you. Is it Nexxlegacy Radio? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Thank you for reaching out to me and wanting to do this interview. I appreciate that because everybody doesn't have a platform that they're willing to share. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Tabitha Brooks and to Phyllis Charles for hanging in there with me for the last over 30 years and putting up with my shenanigans. Let's not say I ain't pull up with they shenanigans. Okay. Shout out to MC Hammer. Shout out to MC Hammer for the history and everything for the creation, for all of it. So I appreciate that. Shout out to Oaktown 357, to Oakland, the Bay. Love y'all for life, for real, hella much. And then my social media is at Sweet LD. That's 357, at Sweet LD 357. Oh, and official Oaktown 357 on Instagram. So y'all can find me.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you go.
And look, in closing, I want to say thank you. Being a fan for hella long and, literally growing up with y'all when y'all didn't know who I am or who I was or whatever the case may be, y'all inspired a lot of us men, too. It wasn't just a woman thing, right? Like, a lot of us guys appreciate the fact that y'all built a hell of a brand. People that can remember this stuff for years on end, stuff that you can let your kids and your grandkids know. We gave birth to this, and this is still relevant and important today for this reason.
Beautiful.
Y'all are grassroots. Grassroots is 357, seriously, of hip-hop, the culture.
Out of the
it would not be Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Sweetie, all these people out there if it wasn't for what y'all did and what y'all had to go through in order to get what y'all did. So people need to pay close attention to the history of hip-hop. And it wasn't all just laced up by men. It was paid by a lot of hard-working women like y'all to be able to get it to that next level, too. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Before, you told me to tell it and speak it, and that's what you're doing. So I appreciate that. I can't wait to be back today because I'm going to visit. I'm going to tell Jeff he better tell me where to go so I can meet all y'all. But I'll be there.
Hey, and we got to talk offline anyways because I got to tell you more about the NFT thing, and I ain't going to say nothing else other than that because we let it go a little bit into the interview, but I got to tell you about that.
Okay.
We got to talk. We got to talk, and
yes,
we will.
Sir, we got to talk.
There's a lot of history.
Yeah, give me a call tomorrow, and give me a call tomorrow. You have my number now. So make sure you give me a call tomorrow so we can and keep it and lock me in. I know you're not a stalker.
And I'm gonna lock you in, and I'm gonna text you mine. So lock me in. So do this before I let you go. If you could do me a solid and just say, hey, this is Sweet LD, and you are listening to Nexxlegacy Radio.
Of course. Tell me when. Are you ready now?
Ready now.
Hey, this is your girl, Sweet LD of Oaktown 357, and you're listening to Nexxlegacy Radio. Yeah.
I love you, girl. I love you. Listen, one thing that I definitely will do, and you're gonna see me as I tag you on social media and stuff like that. Like we gonna run a Her Story broadcast on Tuesday, so we gonna rerun this interview, and we are going to run all 357 music as we are giving y'all on the air flowers. It's a 24/7 radio station, so we gonna run all y'all music, 2-hour block of music in y'all honor. And we're going to run this interview at the same time and concurrent, too. So we're going to do that big, girl. Look, y'all deserve it. Hey, for the record, I did reach out to Terrible T. She didn't hit me back. So, I did do that.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to tell you to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
But listen, I promise you this. You and I will lock you in and text you, but we will talk tomorrow so I can tell you a little bit of something else. But if you got that gold EP, you need to handcuff that and hold that tight, girl. And I'm gonna tell you why after.
You're gonna make me go look for it because it was in one spot and I thought I had it there, but you're gonna make me go and look for it, so I'm gonna find it.
Girl, you better go look for that. And I'm gonna tell you why when we talk. And I promise you this: if you know anybody that got access to the video, that's a wrap too. So I'll tell you more about that as well.
All right, hon. Well, thank you so much. You be good.
You be good. I'll be at you, and thank you for being you, and blessings to you and the fam. I'm telling you, being a fan and being a supporter is it go hand in hand. And any opportunity that I have with my platform, I'm gonna always share it with you. So even with your Zumba class and stuff like that, if your commercials run and traffic or whatnot, then we'll talk offline about that too as well. So
man, look, love. I'm gonna come to the Bay and teach a class, so we gonna set that up.
Hey, please do.
Give him a little dance.
And we gonna talk, girl. We gonna talk. Much love to you. I appreciate you.
Much love to you, sir. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.